Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode. In this episode, though, it's called Let's Take a Detour. And so we are still your host from Love and Real Estate. I'm your girl, Donyell. I'm here with my love,
Daryl.
And so we're still going to be bringing you love and real estate topics, more so economics, and then, couples, things of that nature. But what we decided to do is do another type of podcast and where it's called Let's Take a Detour. So from week to week, we'll detour off the topic of love and real estate and really talk about just like pop culture stuff. So anything pertaining to politics, trending topics, movies, reality TV, sports. It could just be, a plethora of things that we are kind of interested in, maybe the public's interested in, and just kind of, talk with each other about our thoughts around it. And so you can find those episodes, on our Anywhere You Stream podcast, but it's going to be called Let's Take a Detour, in between our weekly episodes of Love and Real Estate.
Exactly. So when we started this adventure, we originally thought that we was only going to talk about love and real estate and really economic topics. So it started with real estate, but we kind of worked it into like topics dealing with general economics. And then there's so much that's going on with our life that's centered around politics, that's centered around pop culture, that we didn't want to pigeonhole ourselves. We kind of wanted to have an avenue where we can discuss that. Well, we wanted to discuss it. It feels a little strange putting it under the love and real estate umbrella. So what we decided to do is, that my wife already spoke about, is that we have a sub podcast called Let's Take a Detour, and for the future we're going to release episodes under the same RSS thread, which meaning that under the same thread you're going to get weekly episodes of love and real estate, but then you're also going to get occasional episodes of Let's Take a Detour. I don't want to promise weekly episodes of that right now, but you are going to have, I guarantee, monthly episodes of that right now. And then, trust me, next week we probably going to be having episodes every single week. I just don't want to really put that on us right now. But this is something that we plan to do. It could be
stuff too that that's parent life. I mean, we are parents. There could be topics that people reach out to us and just want to kind of get our opinion on, everyday mom and dad life, in the world related to something, pop culture, your kids, school, all those things. So we just wanted to kind of, branch out a little bit and bring some other content to the table. And in this episode, it's really an extension of...
But before we go to there, though, I just want to say one quick thing. Look, we are nobody particularly special. We are a loving couple. We are both professionals. We have children. We deal with a family life. I'll call us the suburban people, the typical suburban family, because we live next to a major city, but we don't live in a major city. We live out in the suburbs, right? So we're just giving our opinions. So if you ever have any comment, any question, or anything that you would like to discuss dealing with any of our podcasts or whatever, or any of our subject matter, we'll be more than happy to address that. So I just want to put that statement out there. But one thing that we want to talk about is a continuation of what we started last week, where we talked about the Vanderpump Rules season 10 reunion part 2. Well, this week we want to talk about reunion part 3,
the scandal.
Is this the continuation of the scandal?
Sandoval, Sanders scandal, or whatever.
Well, can you explain the scandal?
Okay, so and like you said, we kind of discussed a little bit about it in a previous episode, so you can see that part. And at that point, they had aired reunion 1 and 2 episodes, and my husband has watched me be so into the season because of the scandal that happened towards the end of the season. And
what was the scandal?
Was that Tom Sandoval, who's a character on the show, let's say, he's been in a 9-year relationship with Ariana, and it came out.
Whoa, was it 9 years?
They've been together for 9 years.
Okay, that kind of changes my opinion a little bit, but we go ahead. I didn't know that. I thought they was only together for a year.
No, okay. 9 years. They have bought a house together, and she's not a fan of getting married, so they have been saying that they are pretty much life partners. they were going to be life partners.
So he wanted to get married, but she didn't want to get married. Is that what you're telling me?
She doesn't want to she didn't think a piece of paper saying we are officially married, would changes anything.
Okay, I'm still Team Tom now, just after you told me that. But go ahead and continue.
So they have bought a house together. They have been life partners for 9 years. Well, she had a best friend, this girl who we are now calling Rachel. Mm-hmm. She used to call herself Raquel, but we have now used her government name, Rachel. She came into the picture because she was dating another guy on the show. They were engaged. At the end of last season, that engagement ended. So this girl has kind of been finding herself. And in that, she found her way into good old Tom Sandoval's arms. And they ended up having this extensive affair. Mm-hmm. And right underneath Ariana's nose, to the point where we learned some juicy details in the final reunion episode that just aired this past week.
Okay. Now, well, if you listened to our podcast last week, I don't watch the Vanderpump Rules. I really don't know anything about it. But after discussing the clips that I seen of the reunion part 2, I was Team Tom because what was the girl, Ariana?
Uh-huh.
Okay. The way that she was acting towards Tom during the reunion.
She was mad, though.
Well, I understand that she was mad, though, but some of that is not just because she was mad. I believe some of that is how she was acting before she even knew that he was having an affair. And she was kind of belittling him. And I didn't like that. So I'm like, yo, I'm Team Tom. But then at that time, I was under the assumption they was only together for like a year or months. I never knew they were together for 9 years.
9 years. You bought a home with somebody.
But then again,
you furnished that home with somebody.
Okay, but you told me just Ariana didn't want to get married.
Well, I mean,
whoa. She didn't want to make a commitment.
No, she made a commitment.
No, she didn't make a commitment.
She was willing to fire this. She told this guy, I was willing to follow you anywhere. She just didn't think having a ring or a piece of paper would change anything or was as needed. And who's to say? I don't think he cared. He didn't really care to get married either. It wasn't a big deal to him.
Did he actually state that on the show that he didn't care to get married?
No, but he wasn't pushing the issue.
Okay, but I'm just saying though.
She was willing to have babies with him.
But hear me out though.
Well, they were going through that process.
Well, that's a problem too though. But did they have a child? Did they have children?
No, and she said thank God for that.
Okay, so they didn't have children. They were together 9 years. She didn't. They were not married because she did not want to get married. So usually when you in a marriage like me and you in a marriage, right? We put up with each other BS because we made a commitment to each other. She did not want to make that commitment. So
she still putting up with his BS?
No, but he didn't want to put up with her BS. He didn't want to do that. He didn't want to put up with her BS. He found a younger woman, but in finding a younger woman, he probably found somebody that was more free thinking.
But he should have broke up with her. That's the whole point.
But the way that she was acting in the part 2, it was very difficult to break up with her. I can understand how he would be kind of intimidated by her. The lady was belittling him. I could tell she was the masculine one in a relationship.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, of course. I mean, whatever the case may be, we're in part 3. That's what we're going to discuss part 3.
Continuing from part 3 because we have now discovered some new information. Okay. Because, well, we go through the reunion and in part 3 we hear from I guess we can call Rachel, the mistress, the other girl, the friend of both of them.
Yeah.
And there is parts in there where, it's the girl to me, this was my take. I didn't get any remorse from her. She didn't cry. She
doesn't feel like she's guilty. She's not going to have remorse.
Yeah, but she cried when. Okay, so the way the reunion went is they aired the third part. They aired her out and talking to everybody. She got pummeled by, of course, Ariana and everybody on her team, or that was for her. Well, then we see this after clip where she comes back to sit down with producers. It's just Rachel, and she ends up telling all of the truth about how long this affair has been going on and some of the things that she lied about at the reunion that we find out were actually true.
Okay.
So that's the kicker, is that during the reunion, when she had the chance to maybe say it all and be truthful with Ariana, she lied because he told her to lie. Tom, he said this is our story and we sticking to it.
Because he was intimidated by Ariana.
No, well, he said he didn't want to. He was trying to soften the blow, but at that point, you might as well just say all of it.
It didn't feel like that when I was seeing that reunion. it doesn't feel like he needed to soften. Well, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. It felt like he needed to soften the blow because if he didn't soften the blow, Ariana was probably going to shoot him in his head. She seemed that scary to me. I'm like, this lady is crazy.
We are celebrating our 9-year anniversary.
Yes, we are.
This coming week on the 14th.
Lori's 9 years too,
yes.
right?
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you right now, had you been having an affair with my best friend, I would probably want to shoot you in your head too. Not going to do it though.
Look at me. That was kind of dirty on that was kind of dirty on his part though too. But there's a role that we all play. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a role that Ariana played that pushed Tom.
And we got to stop blaming the girl. She's not the victim here. She's the victim here. Well, we got to stop blaming her.
You don't know Ariana and Tom's relationship though. Do you?
Yes, we've been seeing it on the show. They've been together since Vanderpump Rules has been on. Now, I haven't watched all 10 seasons of the show, but for a big chunk of it, I've been watching it, and they've been on the show. Now, he's trying to say this narrative that they've been lying about their true relationship because she didn't want it to be out there in the public, and this was the season where he just couldn't do it anymore.
Sorry, let me interject.
I don't believe that.
Tom doesn't come across as a super masculine type of guy, and I'm not saying that to belittle him because I'm probably not a super masculine guy in a lot of people's eyes, right? But what I'm saying is that type A personality, if Tom had that, he would have went up to Ariana and said, "Look, yo, I'm not feeling this relationship no more. I know we've been together for 9 years. You don't want to make a commitment. I feel like we're not gelling together, and I found somebody else and I want to leave." He didn't say that. That's the problem. If he would have said that way back in the beginning, there never would have been a scandal.
Right.
But he had enough empathy enough that he didn't want to hurt her feelings.
There was no empathy there.
He didn't want to hurt her feelings.
There was no empathy there.
That's the thing
he
about
wanted to get his knockers done from some younger girl who was all into him, and he could manipulate her, and he couldn't manipulate Ariana anymore.
But But the young girl wasn't putting him down, though.
That's what it was.
But the young girl wasn't putting him down.
He was able to manipulate the young girl, and he could no longer manipulate Ariana. That's the end all be all.
Nah, I don't really trust me. Ariana don't seem like she's the kind of person.
Oh yeah, she said
it. Be manipulated.
She said it. He was coaching me because she said it to the girl. She said, "Did he coach you to say that?"
Do you believe that?
I do.
You believe that? Okay, I'm sorry. From the clips that I've seen, I don't believe that. But then again, you've seen more seasons than I have.
I think because he was doing it with the other girl, Rachel, before the reunion, because he coached her. She said it. He told me not to say this. He coached her on what to say,
but you're an
and
adult,
that's why she said.
Are you an adult?
She's not.
Okay, you can say that she's young though, but you're still an adult.
She's young and dumb.
Okay, you can say anything you want to say. It doesn't seem like Ariana came across as a person that is coachable, and maybe that's the reason why
she was back in her younger day.
Well, they was coachable. They probably wouldn't have problems in their relationship. They could work it out.
She
wasn't coachable.
She was coachable.
No, she wasn't coachable. No,
she was willing to do
Michael
whatever.
Jordan was coachable. He was an asshole, but he was still coachable, and that's why Phil Jackson was able to mold him into the player he was.
Allen Iverson wasn't coachable, and he was still great.
But he had championships.
No,
Jordan did though.
That's what I'm saying.
He was coachable. But you get what I'm saying? Oh, hear out what I just said. Jordan was coachable.
Yeah.
And Jordan had 6 championships, and he's the greatest ever. Allen Iverson had more potential than any other player in NBA history.
He wasn't coachable.
And he wasn't coachable. How many championships do he have?
None.
Exactly. And trust me, that's my dude. That's my man. Trust me, Allen Iverson is probably my favorite player ever.
Yeah, but that's Ariana. She's the Allen Iverson.
So she just lost then.
No. He tried to coach her.
What's the name of the girl that he cheated on Ariana with? Rachel. So Rachel was what, the Steph Curry?
No, she's no Steph Curry. No. We're off topic here. Let's get back on. You have a clip that you want to share?
Okay,
you want me to explain it?
So on Peacock on YouTube, they have a lot of clips of the reunion part 3. So I'm going to play some of these clips. I kind of want you to discuss it. Mm-hmm. Remember, I haven't seen this episode. My wife has. And even if I have seen it, I really, besides the basic facts that Tom cheated on Ariana with Raquel, I really don't have
Raquel.
I'm sorry.
We're calling her Rachel.
Yeah, her name is spelled like Rachel.
It's Rachel. That's
okay,
her
besides that, that's the only thing that I know. But come on, let's go ahead. Let me go ahead and cue this up. Tell me when to stop, and we'll cut in and discuss it. Fair use.
Which is Tom and Raquel's months-long affair. Raquel, where have you been staying since the news of the affair got out?
I stayed with my sister for...
I just want to say one thing, though. If you was coming into this show blindly like I am, and you haven't seen any other clips, now I've seen the clips from part 2. If you just focusing on the clips from part 3 and you look at that Tom.
Just one Tom. The Tom is the other Tom that's sitting next to him. This guy's Tom too.
Okay,
so they have a restaurant together called Tom.
Okay, the middle of the Tom dude, he looked like a regular guy. Tom, the guy that I'm calling Tom. His name is
Sandoval.
Sandoval.
Yeah.
if there was a picture of a definition of a dick, he would look like it. Now I'm just judging him based upon the way he looked. But if you look in the Webster dictionary and you get the definition of a dick, now I'm not talking about the attachment to a male. What I'm talking about, the person who is kind of embodies what a dick would be, the arrogant asshole.
Yep.
It would be him. He looks like that.
Everybody would
but
agree
that's just
with
the way
you.
he looks, though. Doesn't mean he's like that. So let's go ahead and continue to play this clip.
For a few days, and then I drove out to Tucson and stayed with my family for the remainder of the time.
And this is Raquel.
Yesterday.
Rachel.
Sandoval,
Rachel talking.
You and Raquel been hanging out
Raquel.
in the last
Rachel.
weeks?
Yeah, we've hung out.
Raquel, were you
They knock
considering
boots.
skipping the reunion?
I was.
Why?
She didn't want to take accountability.
Tell her, Sheena.
I'm so ashamed and embarrassed that I'm even capable of keeping this.
Okay, now
secret
pause this.
From somebody who
Okay. This is where I have a problem with.
What's up?
She claims she's so ashamed and embarrassed for what has happened. Yet I don't feel, when she says this, listen to her. I'm not seeing the tears, the crying like, I am.
Yeah, because she's ashamed that she got caught.
But there's no, like,
Tom works for her.
for me,
And
if
she works for
if
Tom.
somebody's doing that, you got to give me more. Give me the sorrow. Go ahead and play it.
No, it was. Don't get me wrong. This is the pure definition of dirty macking. Ariana was her friend. She was in the same house.
Friend.
She was in the same.
She gave this girl a place to stay.
Yeah, she was in the same house as Ariana, but she was low key macking on Tom. That's considered dirty macking. That's the pure definition. Don't get me wrong. Raquel is not nobody's
Rachel.
good in this whole entire
Just call her Rachel.
relationship. Nobody's good.
Raquel
Rachel.
is not working.
I
Just
like
call her
Raquel, like Stefan.
Go ahead and play it.
My name is Daryl. They call me Darrell.
Play the
That's
clip.
how I gotta play the clip. There you go.
has been in my corner since the beginning. Ariana, I am so sorry for
Ariana's rolling her eyes right now.
I can't even fathom the pain that I've caused you. I have been completely
Lisa.
selfish.
Lisa's
You're right,
she's sniffing out the
selfish is
BS
not-
too. See,
Lisa
Lisa's
Vanderpump.
sniffing the BS
Okay,
out.
now Lisa Vanderpump. This Vanderpump Rules is based upon the people
It's
that
her
work
team,
for
that
her.
work
That's
for
her
her,
team.
right? Yep.
Right?
People work
Now,
for her at
she's
one
an
point.
older white lady, and I can tell you right now, she's
Lots
looking
of
like
money. Her house is
she looks
beautiful.
like she got some stinking money.
Oh yeah.
But she's just looking like she's
She's
on
sniffing
stage
the
like,
BS.
but she's on stage like, what the hell am I doing here?
She's sniffing out the BS that this girl.
Well,
is
we
saying.
all know it's probably
BS.
BS, but Tom and
There's
and
no
Raquel
tears coming
belong
out
together.
of this girl's eyes.
Because she don't have tears, baby. She don't believe she did anything that was wrong. Okay, go ahead.
right word because it doesn't even begin to describe the state of mind I have been in. It was a mistake. The way it was handled was a complete mistake. The way that we have betrayed the people closest to us was detrimental.
Now he crying.
to all.
But she's not crying.
Tom's not really crying. I know what Tom's thinking about as a male. Tom's thinking about, man, I want some ass right now. And I'm telling you, he looking right at Raquel. He got his head down like, I gotta be here, but man, this girl looks fine. Let's go ahead. Well, I'm telling you where he looks at. Let's go.
Of our friendship, and I'm seeing like all of the consequences for my actions that I never even considered because I was living in the moment.
She's young, so I can understand that.
I did it because Tom and I had this connection. I felt seen and heard by him, and I hadn't
Not by me?
felt.
Didn't he feel seen or heard by me?
No, actually, well, if I'm going to
Because
be
I've
completely
fucking
honest,
been there for you since James was being mean to you when you guys were together.
I know that's
And I was
true.
the only person who fucking
That's
saw
true,
or heard
that's
you
true.
then.
But I never confided in Ariana about personal things where I felt more compelled.
No
to
tears.
confide
Still
in
no
Tom
tears in
about
her
those
eyes.
things.
Inappropriate. You never should have ever crossed that line.
As
That's
a friend,
disgusting.
my whole
No tears.
because I've been a people pleaser my whole life, and I dropped that mentality, and I started only pleasing myself. And this was something that I was curious
So
to
my
see.
dog had just died. I cried in your fucking arms, and you thought I should go fuck her boyfriend.
Bang.
You
That's
are
the
lower than the fucking lowest of
comment of the
people.
season right
You
there.
really are.
My gosh.
You're a fucking psychopath. You are terrifying to me as a person. The fact that you are capable of this shit, unfucking believable. You're a dementor. I know you like Harry Potter. You're a fucking dementor. I hope Charlotte fucking haunts you.
Charlotte's the
You're a
dog.
fucking individual. You're
She's
Oh,
the
that's
dog.
the dog? Okay,
That's
I
the
got
dog
you.
that died.
Never see or speak to you again, and I will be better for it.
Why couldn't you stop? Why did you have to keep going?
It was almost impossible to turn away from. And
You were in love.
Yep.
She don't have to answer that. Before
She
I
is,
want to ask
though.
that for her. She was excited. She was really excited about her new relationship. That's basically what it was. She's young. She's not thinking that much into it. I think what she did to Ariana.
No, she has a 40-year-old man.
Okay.
Who is?
Now, how old is she again?
She's 20 something, I think. I don't think she's even 30 yet. But she has maybe mid 20s at that. But she has a 40-year-old man.
Okay.
Who is into her, and as she has stated before, gave her some of the best sex she's ever had. She said it was making love, and she's never made love. Now, mind you, she was engaged to. He's sitting on the other side. She was engaged to a guy on there, and she even said that. She said that there was no comparison. So she has fallen in love.
I can tell you right now, if you put both those guys side by side, and you pick 10 random women, and you ask them, pick which man will probably lay it down the best, it'll probably be 9 out of 10 Tom.
I give it to James. He seemed like he would be fun, but that's just off topic.
James look a little.
Soft topic.
Okay, there we go. Let's continue.
Yeah, you're ugly. You're hideous.
I know.
You are rotten on the inside. Rotten. Like a fucking moldy piece of fruit.
Oh, that's a good part.
Now that's funny. Hold on. I want to get to the
good part.
Her ex-boyfriend. What's the ex-boyfriend's name?
James.
Okay, James is looking like he's shaking his head like,
yeah. He's laughing.
Yeah,
he's enjoying this. Watch,
he's definitely enjoying this. Okay, here we go.
You are still in love. Tom, you are in love.
Tom don't want to be here. Trust me. Look at Tom's face. He do not want to be on that stage.
I'm gonna laugh. This is delusional. This is hilarious and delusional. It's a very simple question. Are you in love or are you not?
He wants to say yes.
Oh my God, this dude did not want to be there. He's like, I don't want to answer this in front of people. I do not want to talk about this in front of people. He want to say, look, I'm only doing this for a check because I need it. But God, I do not want to be here. This dude looks so uncomfortable. He's the epitome of a person being uncomfortable.
He should be.
You remember that sneakers commercial they used to have where they would say something like do you want to be somewhere else or something?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Have, like,
and you get the sneakers. Yes.
Somebody eat a snorkel, eat a sneaker. Like, is there another place that you want to be?
Yeah,
that's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Brody. Honestly, that's the most pathetic thing I've ever heard.
I know,
this
but how amazing that he did this for you. Both of them did this for you.
True.
Okay?
Thank you.
Like, there
It's
will
good
be
old
someone
Lala
that
coming in with the.
I think, oh my God, I'm so grateful. Not only did they get me out of what was a torture chamber, because I can't even imagine being with you, Sandoval, like put a bullet in my brain. And like eliminated two horrendous fucking people out of your life at the exact same time.
That's what now the two of them have exactly what they deserve.
Such a giver in your
Nothing.
friendships.
You are nothing. You are nothing. Let that sink in. I know it's not hard for you to let other people stop.
She got Tom though.
You never have a fucking original thought of your
That's
own.
it.
You are nothing. You're not
She got
gonna have
Tom.
this forever either. This is who he is.
All right.
This will be a pattern. You are next to go.
Get ready.
You mean he'll cheat on her?
Of course.
Got
This is who he is.
You know what she means. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily true.
Very true.
Hold on. Come back. Yeah, bye-bye,
You
darling.
should
Bye-bye.
leave on
Bye.
You never come back. No one wants you. Bye.
Tom wants her.
Bye.
James is mad Tom was laying that pipe down. Okay. So, go ahead and speak about this.
Okay. So, I don't know if you're going to share another clip, but that's not even the juicy part. What's
the juicy part?
The juicy part is what happened after they finally finished, because she comes back, gets her little sip of water.
Mm-hmm.
She comes back, Ariana drags her some more, telling her she's, scum, nothingness. Andy asks her some more questions that Tom doesn't want to answer, and whatever the case may be. And then Lisa asks her some questions like, how could you? Because at one point, she kissed the guy sitting in the middle the other time. She was making out with him all while, and so they were asking, were you trying to make this Tom jealous? And why would you do that? And so it's a whole bunch of disgustingness. And then they let her go. They bring Sheena back out because, there's this restraining order. So then they rap with them. They ask Sheena her thoughts, which, of course, Sheena points out what I've been pointing out. She didn't even cry. Doesn't even seem remorseful. And then that ends. So that's the end of the season. Then we go to Raquel one-on-one with the producers. And this is what she says. So she says that the affair has been going on a lot longer than they've put out there. And while they were in Mexico, so Sheena got married in Mexico on the season. In Mexico, Raquel had her own room, and Ariana and Tom had their room. Well, I guess Ariana was in the room. Tom hung out with some people, got wasted. I guess he was in the hallway because they were all on the same floor. He was in the hallway and she could hear him, Raquel. So she went out there, and I guess security was trying to figure out, what he was doing because he was drunk. She pulled him in the room. They did it in Mexico. While he's
now, how long ago was this?
That aired during the season. So it was pretty recent. Then she also admitted to, so Andy had asked the question at the reunion, have you guys ever slept together at Ariana and Tom's house? Because for a moment she was staying with them in the guest house. They both said no. Well, she said that was a lie. They have.
Wow.
And one of the moments was while Ariana was there. He snuck out.
But where was Ariana?
She was in her master bedroom sleep. He snuck out and went to the guest bedroom, slept with his girlfriend, or his mistress, this girl Raquel, and then went back in the bed with Ariana. So there's just a lot of things that they could have easily said, okay, we want to be together. Let's tell her. And I guess their thing was they were going to say it at the reunion, or they were going to, I guess, he was going to break up with her at the reunion and then say that, he wants to be with Raquel. And they have been not say that they've been doing stuff, but that they have been hanging out. But obviously it didn't come out that way. It became this whole big scandal, and it caught the attention of everybody, around the world that is into this stuff.
Yeah, of course it did. I mean, it's
got me buying hoodies that say juicy. Send it to Daryl and everything.
It is. But I do want to play this clip. I want to discuss this clip. So this is entitled, and this is on Peacock on YouTube, is that Vanderpump Rules Reunion Part 3 Uncensored Cut. Raquel turns on Sandoval.
Yeah, this is it. That's what I was just saying.
Okay, so
this is the clip.
Let me go ahead and play this.
Where she ends up turning on him and saying all the truth.
Okay, so let's see what's up. 6 days later, Raquel sat down for her final interview of the season.
Yep.
Ready? Yeah. You okay? You seem like you're in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Why?
I think it's important to me to tell the truth. I think that I've been lying and being so deceitful this entire time that I don't want to lie anymore. And it's all out there anyway. The worst.
I said she's definitely going to be on next season. What do you say?
Oh, I want to see all of them on next season.
Okay, so they are going to be on next season.
It's the only way I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, of course, the producers know this.
I need to see what the fallout is.
Actually, the producers, they struck gold with this storyline.
Now, I will say this, though. I don't know, because Ariana is adamant, because usually with these shows, what Andy does is if you come back next season, they always do these cast trips. You have to film with, everybody on the cast, things like that. Ariana has made it very clear she no longer wants to film with Tom and
Well, she don't have to film with Tom for them to make
she has to.
Content with a show. No, they don't.
She's gonna have to be in the same room with him.
Well, I'll tell you right now, they filmed the last season of Martin didn't have Martin and Tisha Campbell in the same scene together because they had beef behind the scenes, and it still worked out, right? They don't have to film together, but they do have to be part of the storyline.
Yeah.
Exactly, they're going to be. So let me continue.
I'll be ready to watch it.
Of course.
I'm still finding myself.
I'm going to watch it, but I want to discuss it.
Having to lie about specific timeline things
Lala, we weren't fucking first and foremost.
It doesn't matter if it was one time or 100
Yes, it
times.
does, actually,
You caused
Lala.
the fucking lie. You caused the goddamn lie. No, it doesn't.
I mean, you did maintain some untruths, some lies at the reunion, right? Why did you do that?
He feels like it would be less hurtful to say that, you know, this wasn't going on for so long.
I what like a regular, like
The second time was, it was actually during Mexico.
See, this is when they were at the wedding.
I was like, we can't see each other. This isn't gonna be a thing. But then, like, that first night in Cancun, he was like drunk and like trying to find his room, and I heard him talking in the hallway, and there was somebody working there, and he was like asking which direction the elevator was, and I was like, wait, come inside. I was like, sorry sir, like, he's really drunk. Yeah, that was the second time that we were physical intimate with each other. Yeah.
But what is like a regular?
So I do want to stop it here because I want to say something. I want everybody who's listening to us right now to understand that everybody a part of this show are adults, right? They're not teenagers. They're not children. They're all adults. Now, I can understand to a certain extent that you're in Mexico, everybody drunk, and you slip up one time and you sleep with the guy, right? If Ariana is your best friend, you will have some type of remorse there. Like, oh my God, what the hell did I just do? And you sure as hell not going to sleep with the same person again, right? You're going to sober up. But she just stated that she slept with this guy multiple times in Mexico underneath Ariana's nose, and Ariana's supposed to be her best friend.
Yep.
That is dirty macking. Now, Tom is drunk. And trust me, Tom is an adult too. He's supposed to act like an adult. So he takes responsibility. But she should also take responsibility. What she did was disgusting. She's a whore. And I can understand why people are mad at her. The only thing that I was coming from is that it seemed like Ariana was really belittling Tom during that part 2 of the reunion. And it seems like something that probably happened throughout their relationship. But that was just my opinion. But I just want to say that before I continue, because she sounds effing crazy by saying, oh yeah, I slept with him multiple times, but we didn't mean to hurt nobody. Come on.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't remember like how often it would happen, but it definitely like picked up speed more like after we wrapped filming. I've met his mom, yeah, and she was aware of like the situation.
I'm shocked at that because 2 things, right? Well, you don't take a woman to go meet your mother unless it's very serious about your relationship, right? Yeah. That is something that's is very sacred. They go take a woman to go meet your mother, right? But just something you don't normally do. I know in our relationship, my mother only met like really 2 of my girlfriends. There was somebody else because I was trying to sleep with her while I was at my mother's house, but that's when I was way younger. But that's something very sacred, though. You don't take a woman to go see your mother. So I do believe Tom is in love with her.
Oh yeah, he's definitely in love. He said yes.
He's definitely in love with her for to meet the mother.
But here's the thing. So I'm not sure if he said it, and I can't remember, and he might have. But I know that her parents don't like him.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
And she had said that during the season.
Mm-hmm. Why is that the case? Because he's a lot older?
At the end when the scandal came out. Well, I think because he is a lot older. They probably have told her, like, this guy manipulated you. And, there was that moment she was staying with her parents. And I think that he was the one in the relationship. Mm-hmm. She knew he was in the relationship. So she could have easily said, I'm going to tell Ariana if you don't, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But at the same time, he's the one that has the girlfriend. Mm-hmm. So he should have been telling Ariana what was happening the first time it happened.
I agree.
And so she had mentioned that her parents were upset with him at the end when this all broke and we were kind of going through the cast reactions and stuff. Now, I don't know how they feel today. I'm sure not, the proud, not proud parents of their daughter or him and the actions that, that they have taken and the scale that this has gotten to. But I will say this, she's been in and out of I think a mental health facility. Okay. So I do wish her all the best.
Yes, I do too.
She said that in the reunion, because Lala was telling her she's, mental and needs to get help. And she said, I am getting help. And so I felt bad for her in that moment because it does seem like she's a little lost. And
I don't want nothing negative to happen to her. She's a young girl, right? And Tom is an older guy.
And that's why I think a lot of this onus falls on him.
No, it does. The onus does fall on him. Don't get me wrong, though. But then again, I don't think that he was in a very happy relationship with Ariana.
No, that could be the case. Yeah. But then you break up with your girlfriend.
Exactly.
And this girl, my thing with her is this was your best friend. If he wasn't going to tell her, then you should be the one to tell her.
And it's kind of weird that Ariana never picked up on it, though.
That's another question because she and Andy asked her, did you suspect it and just not want to suspect it, or did you really just not suspect it? And so she just really didn't, because she trusted this girl who she brought into her home, was her best friend, and was trying to help her because she was younger. She was out here by herself because she's not dating that guy anymore who brought her into this group of very strong women, and so she was trying to be a big sister to her.
I can understand that.
So I think that's where Ariana just couldn't believe this guy of 9 years that she's been in a solid relationship. Now, I will say, Tom did admit there's been 2 other times.
Has it been a solid relationship, though?
Well, he admitted there's been 2 other times he has cheated on Ariana.
And did she know about it?
She knew about this. They're calling her the Miami girl. Yeah. So there was a girl, and we've seen this on the show, because they brought Miami girl into the restaurant. She was like, we had sex. And so Ariana knew about that one. Apparently, there's another girl, which the cast know who this girl is. We don't as viewers, but he didn't want to say, and so we don't know who that is as viewers. And he did admit that to Ariana as well. She wouldn't say who the friend is, because it's not, I guess the person's not been on the show, but it's a friend of the cast.
Okay.
So he's done it 2 other times.
So he's done it a time. I mean, it's
but
not.
But those were one-time things. This has been a progression of a relationship.
We do it multiple times. It's not one-time things. One-time things is one-time things. Right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but go ahead and continue.
I was in LA. No.
You've never been the same person.
I can't recall now.
You're telling me everything with your face.
I know, I have a really bad poker face. It freaking happened. Yeah. I definitely felt really guilty. A huge part of me wanted to tell her. It ate me alive not to tell her. I mean, I was like, maybe, what would Ariana think about, having me as an addition? And he was like, no, she would not be into that. Yeah, because I love Ariana as a person, and then
if Tom could have got that off,
I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised by that too.
If Tom could have got that off,
she was willing to do a throuple because she was that good of a friend and liked Ariana and wanted Tom, and she was willing to be a third member of this relationship.
If Tom would have got that off,
he would have been the Mac Daddy of all Macs.
The Mac Daddy.
Yeah.
The Daddy Mac.
Yes.
I'm just letting it know. I mean, he would have got it off, though.
Yeah.
All right. You my man. I'll have to buy him a drink. I'm sorry. I'm obligated as a man to sit there with you. Hey, man, I may don't agree with everything you do, but I'm obligated to buy you a drink, my man, if you would have got it off.
Also, I'm in love with Tom Sandoval, so yeah, it didn't seem like that far-fetched of an idea, but it was not something in question. God, he's gonna kill me. I just hate lying so much. I hate it.
What happened the night you guys went to the jacuzzi?
I can't believe that Tom Sandoval had Raquel
Oh.
over when Ariana's away.
I know.
In the Drew.
Who's the older guy that's talking? Is that
That's Lisa's
Vanderpump?
husband, Ken.
Okay, I got you. I figured that.
What?
No. He's asked me to not disclose all this information. Especially now with like being so isolated, I feel like Tom is like, you know, my one person.
So she was
that I
lying,
do have.
pretty much.
I see that.
And
Or I
if
hear
I just,
that.
like went and betrayed him, then I'd really have nobody.
You already came clean about the timeline, right? So it's like, rip the band-aid off. Like, what's one more?
We've like, it's the one story that we've agreed on getting straight, and I know that the reason why Tom wanted to lie about it is because it's a really bad look to hook up with someone's boyfriend in their own house when they've gone out of town, especially for like a funeral of all things.
So pretty much what she's saying is Ariana went out of town.
Okay.
Because her
And before you continue, just take I gotta go get something real quick, but continue talking about this and I'll be right back, okay?
okay.
All right, continue talking.
So Ariana went out of town because she had a death and had the funeral, and in that, while she was away, Rachel admits to being with Tom during that time frame. So so she lied about her the time frame and the different things that, you know, they had said at the reunion versus what actually happened. So this is where, you know, she's crying. Finally, we see tears, but I feel like she's only crying because she wants to save face, I guess, or she's crying because she's going to end up losing Tom, because he's going to see this part, which is her talking to the producers after the reunion has wrapped, saying the truth that he had initially told her to lie about. And this is where it ends up, you know, we'll have to wait and see for next season. We're kind of left with the cliffhanger of waiting till next season to really see what happens. Are they together? Are they not together? Because she's worried that her telling the secrets of how long the affair was and where they actually hooked up at, all the places and the different things that they had lied to Ariana about to lessen the blow. Now she's telling the truth. And if Tom leaves her, this would have all probably been for nothing, because she'll have no friend in Ariana and no boyfriend in Tom. So I'm really curious to see how this ends up when next season starts.
And don't it seem like Raquel or Rachel really is a lost soul?
She's a lost soul. Yep.
Yeah.
And a lot of them allude to that.
She's a person without a country.
She is trying to. She's a young girl trying to find herself, and it's unfortunate because I do feel like had she not been on this show, and this same thing happens, it wouldn't have be so big as it's become between social media, because she would have been just a typical girl having sleeping with a friend, a best friend's man, which happens every day, by the way. It does happen.
It does happen every day. I do feel sorry for Rachel for this point. Bravo TV is making a lot of money off the storyline, right? And they're making a lot of money off Rachel's pain. What she did was grimy, but I do not believe she intentionally intended to hurt Ariana. I know that sounds weird, but I don't believe that was her intention.
I don't think anybody has an intention.
I believe that
somebody.
I believe she's a little dingy. She's not that bright, and she was driven by her impulse to sleep with Tom
of love.
A love.
of wanting love.
Well,
And
what
I
she
think she
considers
was
love. Yes.
well, and I think she was. I mean, she was coming out of a relationship where she was engaged, was going to marry somebody, realized, he didn't get along with her family. This wasn't the guy for her. And here's this nice guy giving her attention.
Exactly.
An older guy. And then they hook up and she got something she, hadn't gotten before. Because
And she's
I will
very
say,
special.
James, I think, was her first like big full on relationship. And it just so happened he had been on this show. So it almost is like she was thrown into this situation with these people and being on the show. And now she works at Sir, which I don't know if she still has a job, because I don't know if Lisa kept her on or fired her. But
Lisa's going to keep her on. It's money. This is money.
Well, no, Lisa doesn't have to keep her on at the restaurant. She could still be on the show, because Tom doesn't work at half these people on the show now. They don't work at Sir anymore. Lisa Vanderpump's restaurant. They started there. But they don't work.
Where's Sir located?
It's in Hollywood.
So Los Angeles, right?
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, and she's got a couple.
So does anybody that work at her Las Vegas restaurant is on this show?
No, because it's filmed following those in Los Angeles.
Okay.
But none of the cast members, except for Rachel, none of them worked in the restaurant anymore. They all have moved on to, other jobs. Or
so what about the people that work in the restaurant? They just don't like.
We see her in the restaurant, but we don't.
But you don't have storylines for the people that actually work in the restaurant now.
There was Rachel, and then there was this other girl who still works in the restaurant. She was another friend of Rachel who, couldn't get behind what she's done. She wasn't at the reunion.
Okay.
But yeah, most of the people that work in the restaurant still, they might have not had as compelling storylines for one to want to follow.
Yeah.
And then there's some characters I heard are coming back for the next season of Vanderpump, because I think they're going to continue to feed. They want to hear those people's opinions. So like Jax and Brittany, they're a couple that had left the show. Jax used to work at Sir. They're going to be back next season. I heard Kristen Doty, she's a friend of Ariana. She also dated Tom Sandoval in the beginning. She's supposed to be coming back to the show. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how the next season. I'll watch the first few episodes to see how it is, and if there's if they kind of like mention it and then don't mention it anymore, may not be as compelling for me, because
I don't know how. I mean, you do want to have a continuation of the storyline, right? But I don't know how compelling it can really be unless Tom dumps Rachel. Really, I keep calling her Rachel.
No, I think it would be more compelling if they stay together and they start going to these events together as a couple.
We could be.
I think that's more interesting. If he dumps her, to me, that's boring.
I don't wish nothing negative on Rachel. I don't wish nothing negative on Tom. I don't wish nothing negative on Ariana. I hope they all find happiness, right? It doesn't seem like Tom, outside of Rachel, was ever going to find happiness with Ariana. Yeah. Even though they was together 9 years, it doesn't seem like he was that happy. Ariana, the way she treated him in part 2, doesn't seem like she was that happy either. So,
well, they both have. Well, I don't know about Tom, because we don't know if he's with Rachel or not. But I do know Ariana has moved on, and she's got a new guy she's dating.
So she's happy. So what the hell then? What the hell are you talking about?
This was after the reunion had wrapped and taped and stuff.
Yeah. For her to move, it could be that the new guy she's in her life is considered a jump off.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the guy
we all have one of those.
Yeah, we all have.
You come out of a relationship, you do a jump off just to make your ex mad, because that shows that you can still get it.
Make your ex mad or make you happy, or probably both.
Yeah. So, but no, this was it was a good season. I will say that.
Seems like it.
For a Vanderpump. So I'm looking forward to discussing some goodness. Hopefully, I got my Housewives.
We're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac,
which
is filmed in our metropolitan area.
Yeah.
We are very excited about that.
We're definitely going to talk about that. Jersey's wrapping up, so
I would say though, I don't watch the Real Housewives shows with my wife. She watched all of them on Bravo, but the only one when I would say is really two. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I was pretty into that first season. The only one that I will sit down and watch was the Real Housewives of Potomac, because that is filmed in our local area. We have went to some of the restaurants that they went to, even the restaurants that the barbecue
Ashley. The one.
What's the white guy that's married?
Oh, you talking about Candace's husband?
Yeah, that was in Old Town.
Yes,
that barbecue joint.
Pitmaster.
Yeah, we actually we
Pitmaster.
seen the guy there. We didn't want to
Yeah.
interrupt him because it seemed like he was very busy. But
Yeah.
the food was pretty delicious. We have a really good time there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I mean, I wish the guy the best. And but I think that he don't have any ownership in that anymore, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He's out of that.
Whatever the case may be, though, we are very interested in this show because we live in the same area where they filmed it. And every time we see the show and they film it, we're like, oh, yo, we seen that before, right?
Oh, we've been there before. Yeah.
Coming from a small town, Ohio, where they would never, ever film any kind of show in that particular location, and coming to this location where they are filming some type of show is really
it's interesting.
It's interesting.
It's
That's a perfect
interesting.
word for
Yeah.
it. Really interesting. So
So-
we're definitely going to cover that.
Well, we hope you check out our recap of the season 3 Vanderpumps. We hope that you
The reunion
enjoyed
part
the
3.
reunion part 3. We
And
hope
who are you, sweetie?
enjoyed. And I'm Donyell.allen with Century 21 New Millennium, your local Northern Virginia realtor. So again, this was just a little detour from our normal love and real
That's
estate.
what we call it. Let's take a detour.
Let's take a detour. So, but if you're still in the market for buying or selling your home or renting in the area, you can find me on Instagram at realtor.donyell.allen, or you can send me an email at donyell.allen@c21nm. Leave us a comment.
Please
like
leave us a review. Please leave us a review. And keep it positive. Even if you give us a 1-star review, just keep it positive, right?
Yeah, give
just
us
say,
some
hey,
positive feedback.
the
on what
episode
we
was
could
trash, but we think that you could do this better. And we did like this aspect of it. And trust me, we will read that online. If it's positive, if it's not,
do. Yeah,
anything too negative or
yeah. Just give us
just give us
positive.
some type of review, right?
Yes, a positive
Yeah,
review.
we appreciate it.
appreciate the feedback, and then let us know too if there's any topics that you want to hear about. If there's any shows that you're watching
Exactly.
that you may want us to check it out and discuss it. Drop us some comments and let us know. And we
Yeah.
appreciate you listening.
Trust me, we love you all, though. We really appreciate every single listener that we have. I think our highest views on YouTube was the Vanderpump Part 2 review that we did last week, and that was like 31. And we appreciate every single view that we received. Trust me. We love y'all. Y'all have a good night. Bye.
Bye.